I'm Cassia Faye Hayden. Welcome to my channel. Today, I know usually I do the book and then I go and move on to meditation and then I try to get around to yoga. But today we are finishing up where we left off because we kind of stopped halfway in the middle of the book of what we were reading in the book last week because it was getting really long. So we are back to the book this week again, and we are going to read the last several principles of attitudinal healing. So we already read 5. So let's get started. Principle number 6. We can learn to love ourselves and others by forgiving rather than judging. We are often focused like laser beams on what bodies do and what they are for. They are constantly being judgmental, either blaming others or condemning ourselves. Many of us have a firm belief that people do unforgivable things and that our safety lies in never forgiving or forgetting how others may have injured us. It is this belief that destroys our peace of mind and our health. They're not wrong, but I mean, there are certain instances that you need to just kind of keep in your mind so that you don't allow it to happen again. Now, you don't want to torture yourself with it. At times you can't really help but torture yourself with it, whether you intend to or not. And there are issues with trying to forgive people who have done things that really are unforgivable, like some of the things that I've been through. But there are things that aren't really as unforgivable as they may seem to be at the time. So, I mean, there are things that we can just forgive and forget and just, move on, and there's things that are much less of a big deal than we think they are. And those are the situations where we should just kind of forgive and forget and move on. And that's it, very important for inner peace and, just being and feeling like a better person, feeling like a better, happier you. We don't want to torture ourselves and the people that we love around us for every little slight just because we happen to be frustrated about it. I know a woman, and we've been kind of frustrated about it kind of for the last few weeks now, who I really kind of like her, but she's been acting really weird lately. Me and my group of friends, she used to be part of our group of friends, but for some reason, and we don't know why at all, because she never gave us a reason, she just stopped talking to us and started avoiding us like the plague and acting like we did something wrong. But we didn't, and she hasn't told us what she thinks we did wrong, and she just kind of acts like we did something that we didn't do. So I don't know what her deal is, but I think what it is she has a crush on one of the people that hangs out with us, and she thinks that hold on, Guinevere. Get back in that basket and you leave them there. Oh my goodness, I don't want more dead kittens. Stop it. Lay down. Do not do that again. Stop taking them. Lay down. Don't do it again. The door is not open so you can hide your kittens. The door is open because it's hot in here and we need the AC. Oh my goodness. So anyway, I'm sorry about that. So she has a crush on this guy that has been hanging out with us, and she for some reason has it in her head that one of my friends is trying to steal him from her. And for one thing, he's not really even into her. He's not really even into anyone because he's not over his last relationship. He's trying to heal and just be with himself right now. And she's just not getting that, and she's just somehow for some reason pissed off at all of us because he's not wanting to get with her. And she thinks that my other friend is actually trying to steal him from her, when really all she's doing is hanging out with him, being a good friend. And she's not really ready to move on and find a guy either. So, them being friends is kind of just perfect because they both know where they stand. So, but the other friend is just like mad that they're hanging out and not, like that he's not with her. And I'm like, just really, dude? You don't need to take it out on us that you have a crush on someone who's not into you. Like, it's not our fault that he's not into you. I mean, maybe someday in the future he could be into you, but your behavior ain't gonna make him very likely. People don't tend to want to be with somebody who behaves that way, all butthurt because someone they like doesn't like them back, and taking it out on everybody else. That's not the way to get a guy to like you. And this woman is quite a bit older than me, so she should know better. I don't know. But anyway, that's an example of a slight that, shouldn't really be affecting you to the degree of not wanting to forget and be friends with your friends, Like, it's a good example of what they mean in here. Anyway, because we project our own anger onto others, the process of forgiving others leads to the process of forgiving ourselves. We cannot totally experience ourselves as love until we have totally forgiven all others and ourselves. All others that need to be forgiven, that deserve to be forgiven. Now, certain people, I love myself just freaking fine. But there are certain people that I can never forgive because of the severity of what they have done. To the extent of needing to go to prison for it and getting away with it anyway. So, that kind of situation, those are things that you can forgive yourself, but you don't need to forgive the person who hurt you to be able to forgive yourself for what they did to you and love yourself despite what they've done to you. Now, I point that out because the people who wrote this book don't seem to understand those type of situations because clearly they've never been through them and don't seem to know people who have been through them. But I know a lot of people who have, not just me, but a lot of people who have been through the same things that I have and have the same views of what would be said in this book. While it's very important to use these methods for like small situations, things that some people just don't have the compassion to forgive people for or love people for or just have the compassion for in general. Like, little slights are no big deal to me, to most of the people that I care about, but to some people, they're everything. So, those are the things that this book talks about, are like the little slights that you should just not take people for granted because of. Learning to let go of the blocks to loving and forgiving others and ourselves reminds each of us that the essence of our being is love. Perhaps we can consider that our real purpose in life on earth is to love ourselves and others by forgiving. I agree with that. There are a lot of people that I love very, very deeply and may not even be related to me. Um, you know, and the purpose of life is to love and to share what you have of yourself with the people that you care about, and do your best to make the world a better place. So, I mean, do the best you can, you know, be as at peace as you can be, and help as much as you can. 7, we can become love finders rather than fault finders. That is true. When we experience separation in our relationships, it is because we are feeling that we must find fault in other people. However, our spiritual being sees relationships as a way of finding love, which results in joining. It teaches us that it's really much easier to love than to hate. Okay, that was short and sweet. And it's true. No explanations needed there. That one said it all. We can choose and direct ourselves to be peaceful inside regardless of what is happening outside. We can do our best. Our past experiences often frighten us into believing that everything that happens to us is caused by conditions, people, or events outside ourselves. See, we subsequently believe that we are always in danger of being attacked, hurt, and victimized. Well, some people are constantly in danger of being attacked, hurt, and victimized. Where I live, being the height that I am and the level of crippled that I am, it is a constant issue with me every time I leave the house alone. And that's another great reason why I like spending time with my friend Heidi, because, you know, safety in numbers. It's not just because, you know, she's an amazing friend and she's fun to hang out with, and I love to hang out with her kids and everybody. But, you know, it's just safer too, you know? And if you're being safe and getting to spend time with awesome people and have lots of fun at the same time, you know, then that's even better. You're making friends, you're kind of creating a bit of a new family, and you know, being safe all at the same time. Hi, Trinity. Aw, is you loving on your big sister? Do you love Astra? I love you, Astra. I love you guys. Hi, Freak. You can come over here too. Yeah. You want to come over here, Freak? Yeah. I'm popular today. I've been gone a lot lately, hanging out with them, so they're really missing my attention. Look how beautiful Astra is. Look at that pretty face. Love your face. Okay. So, I mean, that it's a good point that we don't want to always perceive ourselves to be constantly being victimized, and, you know, we don't want to be looking for it. You know, we want to be prepared to defend ourselves if need be. We want to keep our guard up to an extent to protect ourselves, but we don't want to be looking for it, to try to always feel like the victim, because there are some people who are so paranoid in life that that's just how they are, and people used to think I was like that until they realized that it's my height. It's not me looking for it, it's my height. People like tiny women, and it's really creepy. So, yeah. But it makes a good point. It's just, you know, there are there are situations where you live in a bad area and you're a tiny person and there's a lot of sex offenders around, and you just got to be more careful than most people. Just got to be safe. And it's, again, safety in numbers. It's really, really helpful and appreciated that when I do go home at night, I'm kind of night blind, on top of the fact that I don't really feel safe going home alone at night because of creepers. Heidi sends her kids home to walk me home to make sure I get home safe. I really appreciate that, and I really appreciate that they're willing to do it too, because it really does make me feel much safer, much better that I have someone to accompany me, so I'm not worried about someone jumping me in the middle of the night walking home. So, I mean, that's really nice. It's good to have friends like that. Anyway, this principle helps us to see that there is another way of looking at the world, and that our own thoughts cause and create our own reality. It is based on the principle that it is not people or conditions outside of ourselves that cause us to be upset, but rather that our distress is caused only by our own thoughts and about those things. Well, it depends on the situation. If it's a minor slight, then yeah, and if you get really frustrated about it and spend like days and days and days and days thinking about it, just ruining every day of the week for yourself, thinking about it, then yeah, it's you making it worse. But if it's like something really serious that you're trying to get over, like having been actually attacked by someone, like a few weeks ago when I had to start sitting with Heidi for safety because somebody followed me home and tried to rape me. I mean, that's a situation where you're going to be thinking about it for a while, and there's really not much you can really do about it. And, all the positive thinking in the world ain't going to make you stop thinking about it and feeling violated and creeped out. So, there's only so much you can do about it. You can, do safety in numbers, and you can carry like I do. And, you can just kind of avoid that person and do your best to make sure that you're just safe, and yeah, still do the positive thinking, because, it's not your fault that people are creepy. It's not my fault that people are creepy. It's, you just don't blame yourself, and don't do your best not to let it, like, ruin your life, or ruin your day, or ruin your week, or ruin your month. Don't let it ruin shit. Just do your best to get over it and deal. Anyway, this principle leads us to freedom by reminding us that it is only our thoughts about the world that cause our distress. It reminds us that every second of our lives we can have inner peace regardless of the chaos that may be going on around us. We are students and teachers to each other. Many of us have been taught to believe that wisdom comes... Gotta make sure. I heard kittens and I was like, you didn't take another one, did you? Many of us have been taught that to believe that wisdom comes only from years of experience and age, and that teachers have something to profess and nothing to learn from their students. That's a load of bullshit. I mean, that's their point but it's a load of bullshit. Yeah, it doesn't matter how old you are to be able to gain wisdom. It's the life lessons you've learned. You can be any age and learn all the life lessons to, not all the life lessons, but many of the life lessons to get you, at least on a good start towards wisdom, Like, you don't have to be an old crone in order to be wise. It's all about experiences, and no one is ever done learning, ever. No one's ever learned everything. There's always more learning to do, no matter what you know, how much you know, how many books you've read, what educations you have. No matter what, there's always more to learn. No one knows everything. Nobody. So, that's a really important point. You can be wise at any age, and still always need to learn and know more. I learn new stuff all the time. I learned something new yesterday, actually. There was this guy that was kind of harassing us at the library. I was there hanging out with them, and there was somebody harassing us at the library, and my friend Justin, he explained why this guy was acting the way he was, because I didn't understand why he just wouldn't let it go and leave me alone. I was getting to the point where I was like this close to telling him, dude, if you don't leave me alone, I'm going to commit suicide. I mean, I wasn't really there yet, but I was to the point of claiming that just to get him to leave me alone, because he just wouldn't stop. Because I spent probably an hour, I don't even know how long it was. Justin would know better than I do, because I can't tell how much time has gone past unless I'm actually watching the clock. But so this guy, I told him multiple times, over and over and over and over and over again, please stop, please stop, please stop, and he just would not stop. He just would not just give up and leave us alone. And we were just trying to have a fun time and hang out at the library, just spend time with each other, and he just wouldn't leave us alone. But my phone is about to die, so I'm going to charge it, and then I'm going to get back on here and film the rest of this. So I will be back as soon as possible. It may take a while. My phone doesn't charge well. But anyway, I will be back soon-ish. Okay, it's charged and I'm back. Sorry it took a minute. I'm sure you guys didn't even notice, seeing as how it didn't film while I was charging, obviously. But anyway, yeah, so back to the book. Where were we? I don't even remember where we were at. Oh, okay. We were on principle number 9, talking about how you don't have to be old to be wise, and you're never done learning. However, when we begin to recognize that there is a student and teacher in each of us, our perspective changes. We start to understand that each of us has something to learn from the other, and that everyone is an equal teacher regardless of age or credentials. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear, and vice versa. It's a good one. Principle number 10. We can focus on the whole of life rather than the fragments. During our lives, we look at the world as if we were looking through a kaleidoscope, seeing tiny fragments but never the whole. In actuality, the world is like a fabric where everything and every living being is interwoven. Thus, the tapestry of the fates with the thread of fate, each thread being each person's life and thus their lifeline. If you know a whole lot about Greek and Roman mythology, that's one of the things. No, drop it. I caught you. Don't do it. Don't do it, girl. No, drop it. Don't do that. No, don't do that. We're not doing that. You could hurt the baby. You want to hurt her? No, then don't do that. Lay down. Lay down and feed your babies. Come on. Come on, lay down. Lay down and feed them. Lay down. Don't be grabbing at them. Dragging them around. Lay down. Come on. Lay down. Lay down. If you're doing it to get attention, that's not the kind of attention you want. Trust me. Killing your babies is not the kind of attention you want from mommy. Okay? You don't want that kind of attention. Lay down. Good. There you go. That's the kind of attention you want. Good attention. Yeah. All right. Oh, goodness, with these cats. Oh, my goodness. Alrighty. Okay. During our lives, we look at the world as if we are looking through a kaleidoscope, seeing tiny fragments but never the whole. In actuality, the world is like... Oh, we already read that part. The part of interwoven. When we can step back from a fragment of life and see it in relationship to the whole, we gain a new perspective and can therefore make brand new choices. That is an excellent point. And honestly, I have nothing negative or any extra parts to add to that because it's perfect. Like I said, the book is very, very helpful as long as you keep in mind that there are dangers out there that you do need to protect yourself from. But the book in general is incredibly helpful in helping you learn to think more positively and see, the world in a in a much happier, much more peaceful light. If you look for the good in everything, you'll find it. If you find happy things in every day, one little thing every day to make you happy, or 5 little things every day to make you happy, you will find those things because every day has happiness in it, even if you aren't looking for it, even if you are doing your best to avoid it, looking for all the negative things. And people don't do that on purpose. They just do it, we all have our days when we do it. Even the happiest person in the world has their days where they're just looking for things to be depressed about. I have those days too. Everybody does. But, there's the people like me who have those days, and then there's the people who every day is those days where they're looking for the negative in everything. And this book does really help you find the positivity, help you learn to find the positivity in everything, the happiness in every day, the sunshine, the flowers, the fresh air, the grass, beautiful things in nature, beautiful things in your home that make you happy. My cats, my books, my TV, my fidget toys, anything that makes you happy, look for those things in every day. Because they're there. You just have to look for it. Okay. Number 11. Since love is eternal, death need not be viewed as fearful. I mean, I kind of do fear death to an extent. Who doesn't? I think everybody does. But I hope, I don't know, because obviously I've never been there, but I hope that somewhere when I pass on are all my loved ones, you know, my grandma, my grandpa, every family member I lost, my Aunt Diane, my aunts and uncles on my grandpa's side of the family that I lost, that were dear to me, my Aunt Ruth and my Uncle Kenny, and, you know, all my cats, and, you know, just everyone that I lose over my lifetime. I hope that when I pass on, I go to, they're in a place that they're waiting for me, and I go to that place and I get to be with them again. You know, all the animals I lost, even the itty bitty kittens that I barely got to know, you know, everyone I love, my friends, family, my animals, just waiting for me there to just be with me and love me again, and share my love with them again. I hope that that's a real place. You know, I mean, I don't know that it's there, but I'm hoping that someday when I pass on that's what, you know, death is like. You know, I think we're all hoping that when we pass on, there's something out there for us to look forward to see our loved ones again. Because really, that would just be sad if there wasn't. It would be beyond sad if there was nothing out there. If once we're gone, we're just gone, and everyone we love is just gone. I don't want to believe that. I don't even want to think about it, because it's just sad and hurtful. You know? It's possibly what it actually is, you know, but I'm like the billions of other people out there who need to feel like there could be something out there that could bring me and my loved ones back together again. I need to believe it, because death being final it's just too sad. I don't want that. I don't think anybody does. But, you know, we'll see. We'll see what happens when we get there. You know, let's not rush things. Let's take our time and enjoy life while we have it. Okay? Let's not rush it. Let's take our time and get there when we're ready to get there. You know, in many, many, many years from now. Take our time. Enjoy our lives. Anyway, rather than adhering to our belief that we are born only to die, this principle points out that when we truly believe that love is eternal, we will not be afraid of death. When we are no longer afraid of dying, we can truly begin to live. I say, whether you're afraid of death or not, you know, don't think about death. Just think about every day is another day to be happy. Another day that you're still alive. Another day that you still have the people in your life that you love, the things in your life that you love, the animals in your life that you love. Every day is another day to appreciate and love what you have and who you have. Don't think about death. Just be happy with every day. Look at all the happiness that you could possibly be having in each day. Just, like I said, look and you'll find it. It's like that passage in the Bible about finding God or Jesus. Something about lift a piece of wood and you will find me. Turn a stone and I am there. If you look for something happy in each day, I mean, I want to encourage you guys, okay? Let's do an experiment, okay? Work with me here. Look for 5 things. 5 things. That's not even a lot. 5 things in each day that make you happy, and then let me know down in the comments, what were those 5 things that you found that made you happy in whatever day that you were looking for them. And were you surprised that you found them to be things that made you happy? Or were you surprised that you had things that could make you happy that you didn't realize before because you just were not in a good headspace? I want to encourage you guys to just, do that, like a little experiment, and let's see what we get, see what you guys find that makes you really happy. And if it works for you guys, just keep doing it, and don't do it as an experiment anymore. Just do it for you. Do it to make yourself have a better day and a happier day. And you don't even have to like write it down or catalog it or like mentally note it. Like, just appreciate what you have, every day. But yeah, just this week, let's try the experiment of just 5 things, finding 5 things that make you happy in each day, and just let me know what you found, and write it down in the comments and let me know what you think. What made you happy? Those 5 little things that made you happy each day that you just found for your, and they can be the same things every day. It doesn't have to be anything different. I know my cats make me happy every day, even when they're being little turds and little bastards, and I'm having to chase them down and yell at them and spank them. I don't like to spank them, but sometimes they push me to it. Sometimes yelling doesn't work. Sometimes chasing them down doesn't work, but spanking is a last resort. But even when they're being that naughty to the point of having to spank them, they're still my world. They're still everything to me, and they still snuggle me and want my attention, and they still love me, and that is a big part of my happiness in every day. Even when they're being little turds, that's a big part of them making me happy and feel bliss, and feel loved and appreciated and wanted and needed. We need those things, and we have happiness in every day. We just gotta find it. We just gotta look for it, and we'll find it. But anyway, yeah, don't think about death, or if you want to think about death, think of it in a way as like just you're still alive. The people you love are still alive. The animals you love are still alive. You're still here to appreciate the things in the world. Think of it in a positive way. Don't think of it as like just death. Think of it in a happy way, and appreciate it. There's better ways to just wrap your mind around things, to find the peace in every day. Okay, number 12. How many were there? Yeah, that was the last one. Alrighty. Number 12. We can always see ourselves and others as either extending love or giving a call for help. When we choose to change how we perceive others in this world, when we see them as either loving or fearful, giving a call for help, a call of help for love, we are home free. That's why kitties misbehave. They want attention. That's the reason they do it. Now, some people do it for attention. Some people do it for other reasons that are not mentally healthy for anyone. I can't really understand why sex offenders do the things that they do, because I don't have the mentality to be one of them, so I can't really explain why. They just do it. There's something off and something broken in them, and they just do things that are just horrific and wrong. I don't think there is any actual rhyme or reason for it. There's just something off about them. And it's not something that can be explained or fixed. It just is. And thieves, the reason why people steal from people and manipulate people, that is kind of about a need for attention. Some people aren't capable of actual love, so they need to have things, and so the more things that they have, the more they feel like they've accomplished something, like it's replacing love for them because they're not able to actually feel love. So they just find things, objects that temporarily make them happy. Every new thing makes them temporarily happy, and then when that wears off, they need to have another new thing to make them happy again. But because it's not love, it's never a permanent high, because it's just something physically new, not someone there to make them happy. So that's why people, steal. Like, not everybody. Some people do it because they're freaking poor and, can't afford the things that they need. I don't steal. I really hope most of the people I know don't steal. I know some people that do. I'm related to some of them. But his name starts with a J. He's my brother. Yeah. But anyway, that's why some people steal. There's other reasons, but some people, and that's also why narcissists have an obsession with objects, because they don't have the ability to feel emotion. It's also why narcissists are mentally abusive and manipulate, because they aren't able to feel emotion, but they feel like the more that they try to get emotion from other people, even though they're not capable of feeling it themselves, the more that they feel like they might possibly be loved. They want to feel like they could be loved, but they don't know how to love in return, because they're not mentally capable of it. So unfortunately, it's just an issue that they don't know how to deal with. Like, if you've ever seen the show Dexter, not Dexter's Laboratory, not the cartoon, the murder show about the blood analyst who is incapable of feeling emotion but does his best to fake it, and then actually manages to be a good guy despite the fact that he murders people, and actually kind of has a family that in a way he sort of finds a way to love. That's probably the most happiest scenario of a narcissist being able to love, because he didn't manipulate or abuse his family at all. The problem is that he his outlet for his narcissism, instead of manipulating those that he loves around him, was to murder bad guys and take them out of the world, which turned the other bad guys against him to go after him and his family. And but at least he was able to find a way to love his family and care about them in a meaningful way, despite the fact that he isn't mentally capable of love. He did somehow find it. But at the same time, he was a murderer who was bringing danger to his home by bringing, monsters into, like, after him, having them come after him for revenge. but but yeah, like, usually in a narcissist type relationship, what happens is, they people around them someone at some point gets so mentally damaged that they love that person with every fiber of their being, and can't mentally, like, pull themselves away from them, no matter how hard they try, no matter how much they know they should and know they need to, and no matter how much they want to be free of the abuse, they can't, because in a way, it's kind of Stockholm syndrome, because they've grown up with that endless abuse, endless mental abuse of their loved one, manipulating them to try to get all of the love, all of the attention, but not be able to give any back. And it's a very unfortunate situation, because the person giving the love and not receiving the love, all they're getting in return is mental abuse. And it's really just sad, because they're giving everything they have of themselves and not getting anything but pain in return. What can you do? So, while the narcissist doesn't really know how to love in return, they may even want to love in return. They possibly might want to and just not know how. But even actually be trying to love that person in return, but not have the mental capacity to understand how to love, or show love, or, feel love. It's a very sad situation, even if they want to love the person back, because then it's actually even worse, because both people are hurting, because one wants to love and can't, and one is wanting to be loved and isn't, but giving everything they have of themselves to love that person in return. It's a very, very sad situation, unfortunately. If you haven't noticed, I did take psychology. I cheated though. I got all of my classes, everything I've taken over the years. I didn't do it by paying for college. I called the college and asked for the syllabus and everything I wanted to learn, for all of the courses, not just one, all of the courses, for each thing I wanted to learn. So I learned all of it. I just didn't have to pay for it. And then I bought the books online, and pretty much taught myself. So yes, I did teach myself psychology from college level books. If I actually would have paid for it, I would have graduated and I'd have a doctorate, but I didn't pay for it. So I just paid for the books, because I didn't feel like I needed to get the degree, because I had no intention of using it for a career, because if I had to diagnose people or be a counselor and have to listen to, their crap all day, every day, I have my own issues. Like, someone stresses me out for like an hour, not leaving me alone, and I start to feel like I need to be doing some shit to myself. So I've got my own issues. I can't handle having that as my job. So I took it not to actually use it as a career, which is why I didn't feel the need to go to college for it and actually pay for college for it, and get a degree so I could actually have a job for it. The reason I did it was because I wanted to learn more about myself, and I wanted to learn more about my loved ones. So, not paying for it and just buying the books, it accomplished what I needed. And it also helps me better read people around me when I'm in the soup kitchen or, pretty much anywhere else. It really does help me figure out if I'm in a safe situation or if I'm around safe people. And there are things that I don't know that have to do with psychology, like, excuse me, like that person yesterday that I was telling you guys about, that just would not leave me alone. Just wouldn't drop what we were talking about, and was totally creeping me out on a monumental level. I was so uncomfortable, I actually started shaking. Not like visibly shaking, but I could feel myself shaking. And I started feeling like I was drawing into myself, and it was a bad situation. And thankfully, the person that was with me was like helping me laugh through it and trying to help me calm down and deal with it better. Because I was intentionally trying to laugh to try to calm myself down. Because the crap this person was saying was so beyond ridiculous that it's like, wow. But the fact that the guy wouldn't drop it was making me so uncomfortable that I was just not dealing with it well. And then after he did finally leave, my friend had explained why he was the way he was, and I'd write about it in my psychology books, but I had never experienced it to that degree in person. Like, I've even worked at a place that we call the Arnold Center in the town I grew up in. So it's basically a place where mentally disabled or physically disabled people go to work and earn a little extra money, and they don't pay them what they actually deserve or what they earn. It's ridiculous. Basically, it's to get them out of the house. In my mind, if you're trying to get them out of the house and you're having them do manual labor, you're not paying them what they're for exactly what they're doing or what they're earning. You're taking advantage of the disabled, and it's wrong. It's not okay. So I did work there, and I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of the way they take advantage of the people that work there, because they don't know any better of what they're getting paid or why or how much they're doing. All they know is that they're doing a task, and at the end of the week they get a $5 check. For an entire week, all day long, same hours as anybody else, working their ass off, doing manual labor that most people get $5 at the time. Most people got $5 an hour, well, more than $5 an hour to actually, because that was minimum wage back then, 5 something. I can't remember the exact amount, but it was like 5 something back then. To actually do. Some people actually got paid way more than minimum wage to do the tasks that they were doing, they were being paid by the piece. And then if they were moving too fast, people would come by, dump everything they just did back in the top, and have them start over and not give them the tally for the work that they did. So they entirely cheated them out of all of their pay just because they were doing the job too well. So, you could never earn more than $5 a week, no matter how well you did. And to me, that's unacceptable. I mean, they would look for real jobs out in the community for them to do, but they never lasted long there because obvious reasons. If you're that severely disabled that you have to go to a place like that to work and earn money, then, most places aren't going to allow them to work there for very long. they'll do their best, and try to give them a shot, but eventually they're just gonna give up and be like, this is just too hard. And then they end up right back there being taken advantage of and making only $5 a week for all the work they busted their ass all week to do. It's unacceptable. So, what can you do? But yeah, I worked there, and I've dealt with a lot of very strange issues when I worked there, but never have I dealt with somebody that bad to the extent where you tell them to stop the whole time they're sitting there with you. Like, I think it was maybe a couple of hours. It could have been less than, I don't know. I don't know the exact time, because for some reason my internal clock doesn't work. I don't know why, but my internal clock does not work. I have no idea what time it is or how much time something takes unless I'm watching the clock on my phone. Which, at that point, to me it seems like it's taking forever. Like, a minute seems to take an hour in my mind if I'm watching the clock. But if I'm not watching the clock, I have no idea how long something takes, because my internal clock does not work at all. It's like it's not even there. So I don't even know how long it was that this guy was sitting there just like arguing with me over medical science and acting like medical science is somehow about your spirit. And then getting mad because I actually know about medical science. Because my mom was a respiratory therapist, and she learned by using us as flashcards. And I retained more of her knowledge than she did. She forgot most of her schooling. I didn't. Which is funny. But that's the thing, though. Children remember things that they learn a lot easier than adults do. So that's why it's good to teach kids things right away, because they retain it better as they grow older. The younger you are when you learn something, the easier it is for you to hold on to. So, yeah. But anyway, we are like so totally off topic. I do that. I'm sorry, but I do that. But anyway, I hope everything's like that I'm going off topic with is actually helping you guys. Because that's the point. But anyway, number 12. When we choose to change how we perceive others in this world, when we see them as either loving or fearful, giving a call of help for love, we are home free. On the other hand, if we continue to persist in the belief that attack comes from outside, we will always find a way of rationalizing or defending ourselves and attacking back. No need to attack back. If somebody is actually attacking you, verbally, mentally, stealing your shit, I've noticed the best thing to do is to avoid it, walk away, and do your best to get as far away from it as possible. Unless you can't. If it's gotten to a point or a degree where you can't walk away anymore and you have to stand up for yourself, you have to, but it's better if you can walk away to just walk away and let it go. Remove the person from your life if you can, and that usually tends to solve the issue. If you can't remove that person from your life, do your best to stay away from them as much as possible, if you can. There are sometimes ways around having to actually cause conflict to get away from conflict. So look for the ways to get away, to remove them from your life, to avoid them in being in your life, walking away, ignoring them, avoiding them, blocking them, whatever you have to do. If it's that bad that the person is just that bad towards you, just look for ways that you can deal with it without having to have conflict. You don't always have to say something about it or do something about it. Sometimes just removing them from your life in any way you can, sometimes that just fixes it for you without even saying a word. Find your way around it, around the conflict, if you can. Sometimes you do have to stand up for yourself, to defend yourself and protect yourself. But, most of the time you can find a way to just walk away and get away from it peacefully. There's usually a way. Rather than perceiving others as attacking, we can learn to see them as fearful. Well, if somebody is trying to rape you, it's not out of fear. They're not the ones afraid. They're the ones trying to make you afraid. Just fair warning. If someone's trying to rape you, they're not afraid of you at all. In fact, they think that you're weak and helpless and are more than likely afraid of them and can't do anything to protect yourself. Just because I'm tiny doesn't mean I don't carry. It's the exact reason why I carry, because I am weak and I am kind of defenseless, but big things come in little packages. You push us too far, tiny little Scorpios tend to, eventually we snap. You push us too far, we can be just the happiest, sweetest little angels you ever did meet. We can love you with every fiber of our being and, just obsess over loving you. But you push us too far. You creep us out too much. And the bitch comes out. And you may think, oh, little itty bitty tiny girl is mad. Oh, it's so cute. Not when she has a 38. Yeah. I mean, I like to keep it put away, so, nobody needs to be afraid of it, but the whole reason it's there is that people see me as tiny and weak and defenseless and tend to go after me just because I'm tiny and weak and defenseless, despite my temper when someone pushes me too far. I have a mouth on me, and push me far enough and I will use it, but yeah, it's not the mouth that they're afraid of. It's the only thing that anyone has ever been afraid of with me is my 38, as the only thing that's kept me from getting raped again. So you gotta have ways to protect yourself. Rapists are not afraid of their victims. They're not. They're also not afraid of pepper spray or tasers or blunt weapons or knives. They're not afraid of anything except for a firearm. That's the only thing a rapist is afraid of. They're not even afraid of the cops. Do you know why they're not afraid of the cops? Because usually when you call the cops, it takes several hours for them to show up. By the time they get there, it's already over and the person's already left. And even if they do catch the guy, usually they blame the victim. They almost always get away with it. So they're not afraid of the cops. They're not afraid of most weapons, self-defense weapons. The only thing they're afraid of is a firearm. The only thing. And a crazy tiny redhead. So that's another good reason why I dye my hair red. It's not the actual reason, but it's a good reason. I dye my hair red because it makes me feel more confident and more pretty, and less like Mud and the girl next door, and a little bit more like Jessica Rabbit or beautiful Ariel in her sparkly blue dress at the end of the movie, where she's just like, "Look at me, I'm all pretty." Yeah. So I mean, it's more about confidence. It's not about self-defense, but I mean, it does work for self-defense because someone sees a tiny little redhead and knows that she carries. They're like, "Oh shit." And she's a Scorpio. Oh shit. Yeah, I'm not scary at all, but I want the creepers to think I am, because it keeps me from getting attacked. So, yeah. Here I am all spouting about inner peace while trying to make all the sex offenders afraid of me. Yeah. I'm entirely faking the whole be afraid of me thing because I'm all about inner peace, but I want them to think I'm not about inner peace so they leave me alone. But when you have people trying to attack you like that, you need the inner peace even more. You need it so much. No, Guinevere, no. You do not do that. No. Leave the baby there. Do not do it again. Guinevere, no. Stay. That girl, I tell you what, she was doing so good. You know what it is? I haven't been home, and she really wants attention, and she thinks that's the way to get attention. She thinks that if she takes the babies away, that I'm going to chase her down and give her attention, because she wants me to lay by her all day and pet her while she feeds her babies. Yeah. So that's why she's doing it. She's not trying to hide them. She just wants my attention. The other ones, I'm fairly certain they were trying to hide them. But I think with her, it's just attention. Because she only started doing it after she realized I was spending too much time hanging out with my friends at the park. Anyway, back to the book. We're almost done. When we respond to what we perceive as another's attack by seeing that person as fearful and giving a call of help or love instead of defending ourselves or attacking back, we get in touch with a very different place within ourselves. Our response to the other's attack generates love rather than more fear, no longer perpetuating the game of attack and defense. Like I said, in many situations, that's the case. That's not so much the case with sex offenders. Like I said, they're not afraid of you. If they're coming after you, they're not afraid of you. If they're looking to attack you, they're not afraid of you. If they're making any insinuations that they are coming after you or want to come after you, they are not afraid of you. Other people, having drama and conflict with you, that's a possibility that they are afraid of something, or hurting, or dealing with some sort of emotional issue of some kind. That's usually the case. Unless it's a sex offender, that's usually the case. They're just dealing with something emotional that they don't know how to deal with. And so they take it out on you instead of dealing with their own stuff. But unfortunately, that's just one of the things that people just do. But that was the end of the principles, but there's another excerpt here before the next portion, the next header, basically, of this chapter, because this thing is like in many sections. So I'm gonna read that real quick, and then I'm gonna get to our cards, and then we'll be done for the day. Finally, I'll finally shut up. We always have a choice about how we look upon these principles. For example, we can choose to look upon them as a bunch of idle words, hollow in their meaning. It's not the case, though, because these words really do teach you to really appreciate what you have in your life and see the beauty in the world and think of the world more positively and try to find positivity in everything. I mean, you can really just learn from this stuff, you know? While it doesn't cover every situation, it does cover, you know, most situations. The everyday situations, you know, everyday stress, you know? And we all have, you know, everyday stress. We all have, you know, our poor reactions on occasion to everyday stress. I know I do. We all do. You know, it happens. We just gotta learn how to see it in a different light and just kind of work around it and, you know, take a step back. And, you know, in the moment we might still be angry or frustrated or upset, but when we take a minute to calm down and we back up and just kind of look at it in a different way after we've gotten it out of our heads and relaxed a little bit, then we can see that the situation wasn't quite nearly as bad as we thought it was at the time, and we can just kind of move on and forget about it and work around it. You know, there's usually a way, unless it's a situation where somebody is trying to creep on you to try to rape you or like follow you home or break into your home or steal from you, or, you know, is trying to mentally manipulate you to whatever reason. If it's something that's just really frustrating and, you know, you just did not have a great day, usually it's something you can just take a step back later and just look at it differently and just move on. You know, let it go. Like Frozen, let it go, let it go. I am one with the wind and sky. Let it go, let it go. You'll never see me cry. I don't care what they're going to say. Let it go, let it go. The cold never bothered me anyway. Anyway, or we can choose to apply them in every area of our lives, thus determining for ourselves whether they are empty words or actually helpful and meaningful. As we learn to apply these principles, it may be helpful to ask, do they help me experience peace or conflict? They are helpful, and they can teach you to learn to find some inner peace. They really can. Not everybody has the weird ass situations that I go through. Most people only have to deal with, you know, everyday drama. You can just be like, whatever. That was annoying. It kind of pissed me off a little bit. It kind of upset me a bit. But whatever, let's move on. You know? That's what most people's lives are like. Just something frustrating and just whatever. Most people don't have the massive amounts of psychotic drama that I deal with on a monthly basis. Like, holy shit. most people don't have to deal with the crap I have to deal with. Like, most people don't have to deal with it at all in their lives, let alone on a monthly basis. Oh, my life is ridiculous. But like I said, the things that you can, just blow off after taking a step back and looking at it differently, there are worse things in life to deal with. Just live your life and be happy. Find peace in it, Just the other stuff, be careful. Just be careful. Do your best to keep yourself safe. That's all you can do. Just do your best to stay safe. I'm doing my best to stay safe. Hi, Nimaway. Hi, baby. I'm popular today. Aren't I? Am I popular today? Did you miss me? No, you missed me yesterday. No, I missed you. Okay, I'm going to grab the cards real quick. And we are going to get her done. Get her done. I found out a few weeks ago, or maybe it was a couple months ago. I don't remember. I know I learned it from Sam. He is a smart guy. He learns a lot of interesting shit. And he's a good guy. He's definitely a keeper. Yeah, I love that man. And it's not just because he's hot. Because he is. But, yeah, I love him because he's him. I'm a lucky girl. But, anyway, I learned from him that apparently Larry the Cable Guy isn't actually Southern. It's entirely part of the act. He's actually from New York. I had no clue. He's so good at it. I didn't know. Now I know. Like, how? And he showed me a video of him doing an act before he started doing the Southern act. And I was like, wow, that's him? Wow. I had no idea. It's not even his real name either. I didn't know. Who knew? I'm sure other people knew. I didn't know. But anyway. Hi, baby. I love you. You're a good girl, Nim Nim. Oh, it's a little tiger kitty. It must be Flame Point because it's got a lot of white on its face and its eyes are blue. You don't usually get, but it doesn't really look very Himalayan because it doesn't have enough white around its face to frame its face. So it might have a little bit more ginger in it than Flame Point, but maybe it's a Flame Point ginger mix. But isn't it cute? It's so cute. And it says, I'll survive this situation. I will survive. I will survive. Hey, hey, hey. And I'm not singing, guys. If I were singing, it would be very high pitched and it would be very bad. I am intentionally talk singing, so it's not bad. It's still probably not good, but it's not as bad. Yeah, my vocal voice is soprano. But when I talk sing, it doesn't actually have tune to it. But it sounds, and it still sounds bad, but it sounds not like ear splitting. I mean, I wish I could sing low. I wish I could be alto, but my voice appears to be going higher as I age instead of lower. I was hoping it would go lower. Unfortunately, it's not. Anyway, the card says, go for a walk. Just go for a walk. Don't put too much thought into it. tie up your shoes and just walk out of the house for 20 minutes. Notice how you feel after. I do that 4 times a week. I have a destination, but I do it 4 times a week. Because I do my best, my very best, to clear my head while I walk. I did just thankfully put a mirror on my grocery cart that I walk with, because it does help support me physically, because I can't bring a walker up and down my stairs, because they're heavier and they're more awkward than a grocery cart. So yeah, it's harder to move a walker than it is a grocery cart. But if you put enough weight into the grocery cart, which if you're walking everywhere, you're gonna need the shit anyway, because it's best to always be prepared for every situation. That's the way I see it. When you go somewhere, you need to have shit for every situation. So, you know how you have the spare tire and all the gear for in case shit happens in your car? That's my grocery cart. Yeah. Then people are like, do you really need all that stuff? I'm like, what if something happens? What if it rains and I need my jacket, my umbrella? What if I find shit and I need all these bags? What if I need to have something else to entertain me? What if my phone dies and I need all these chargers? I mean, there's a reason for everything in my car. You know, everything. So, do I really need all that stuff? In the moment, possibly not. But potentially, at any given moment, I might. So, and the minute I take it out of my cart and don't put it back in, that's the minute I end up needing it. So, yeah, I do that pretty much 4 times a week. Just leave the house, try to do my best to clear my mind while I'm walking to the place I'm trying to get to, so I can just appreciate the sunshine and the fresh air, and hope that the fresh air doesn't make me lose my voice again. And because I'm allergic to the pollen of most plants in the woods and grass. And lavender. I'm more allergic to lavender than all the other plants, but you know, when all the other plants are blooming or being mowed, that's the day it decides to kill me. But yeah, so I do my best to clear my mind when I can, going for my walks to get to where I need to go, because you know, it is a long distance. I mean, if you really think about it, it's not very far, but it is a long distance back and forth everywhere. When you are just walking, you know, it's not far to the point where it's unacceptable for you to be walking that far, but it's far in the essence that, you know, when you're walking, you either have to really pay attention and make sure you're safe, or you need to lose yourself in it and just enjoy being outside, and you know, take a minute to think about the things that make you happy and the things that you plan on getting done while you're out and about, and you know, just go about your life, you know, just think, or clear your mind, or appreciate the weather, or the flowers on the path, or you know, the fresh air, or the pretty trees, or whatever, you know. You know, it's the point of getting out of the house isn't to just get free food. It's not. The point of getting out of the house is to get out of the house and enjoy being out of the house for a little while, you know, and enjoying everything around you that is out of the house, you know. you're stuck in the house all winter long, not being able to move or function all that much, and you want to get out and appreciate the weather and appreciate the sunshine and the flowers and the fresh air and, you know, company with other people, and you just want to get out of the house. No matter how much you miss the kitties while you're gone, you just want to get out of the house. You know, because walls can be suffocating when you're in them too long. Especially when you're in them all winter long. It sucks. It sucks being stuck in the house all winter long and not being able to do anything about it. And it's not a transportation issue. It's a my body don't want to roll over issue. My body don't want to sit up issue. My body likes to collapse when I try to stand up issue. Yeah. But, you know, that's why I appreciate summer so much, because I can finally function and move and live in actual life. Yeah. But, you know, anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope that that everything I had to say and everything the book had to say helped you and made you feel more happy and more positive and gave you something to think about. And I really do mean it about those 5 things. I really do. If you watched all the way through, which if you did, I know this is long, so I appreciate it, and I'm proud of you for sticking it out. But because I know how much I talk. But anyway, if you made it all the way through the video, I do want you guys to look for 5 things that you find beautiful and make you happy and, you know, brighten your day. 5 things. And just let me know in the comments, because I want to see this stuff, guys. No one ever really messages me in the comments. I want to see our progress together. You know, I want to hear your thoughts and your feelings, and know that I'm actually helping you. You know, that I'm making an actual difference and not just sitting here wasting my time talking to a camera and posting online for actually no benefit to anybody whatsoever. Because when I don't get a whole lot of views and nobody says anything in the comments, that's kind of how I start to feel. Like I'm not benefiting anyone and just wasting my time. I hope not. I really, really, truly hope not. I really, truly hope that I am helping you guys as much as I hope that I'm helping myself. So, you know, I just work with me here. Let's just do this experiment, just not just for my peace of mind, but for all of our peace of mind, and, you know, see what we can find in each day. At least 5 things that we found that made us happy and we thought was beautiful and brought us peace and bliss and just brightened our day. Just 5 things. That's it. 5 things isn't a lot. You can find 5 things. I can find 5 things. And every day, 5 things. And, you know, like I said, it doesn't even have to be different things every day. Just whatever makes you happy. You know? Just work with me, guys. Let's do this experiment and let me know in the comments what you found that made you happy. And then we can talk about it, and, you know, you're like, oh, that's amazing, you know, that's a great thing to be happy about, you know, like, there's a lot of things in life to be happy about, and I want to see that. I want to see you guys sharing with me what makes you happy, and seeing that you guys are happy, and that I'm in some way making a difference for you guys, because you guys, you really do matter to me. You really do. That's what I tell you guys at the end of each of these videos, that, you know, you are enough, you are appreciated, you are loved, because you are. You know, I'm not just saying it. I really do genuinely care about you guys. Even if I don't know you, I genuinely care about you. I wouldn't be doing these videos if I didn't. I care about everybody. I want everybody to be happier and have, you know, happier lives and be happier people and, you know, make a difference in this world and make it a happier world. Because we need more of that. You know, we do. I really genuinely believe that every little bit you do to try to help other people have a happier day, it makes an impact. Maybe not a big impact, but it makes an impact. It at least brightens one person's day. And if it brightens that one person's day, maybe they're in a better mood to brighten somebody else's day. And then maybe that person is in a better mood to brighten somebody else's day. You know, cause and effect. You know, like ripples in a pond. You know, maybe that one compliment to somebody in the grocery store to make them feel pretty. You know, maybe that makes them in the mood to make somebody else feel pretty. Maybe one or two or three people, and those one or two or three people feel like they need to make somebody else feel pretty, and it just expands and expands and expands until a whole bunch of people are just having a better day because someone said something nice to them. You know, that's what I want. That's what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to, you know, make you guys feel like you can have a better day and brighten your own day and brighten somebody else's day and brighten my own day by doing these videos and sharing them with you guys, knowing that I'm trying to make a difference and brighten someone's day, because it really does feel good to do good. You know, it does feel good to make somebody else feel, you know, loved and appreciated and cared about, and, you know, all of those things. It feels good. No, drop it. Stop. So, you know, I hope that I'm making a difference and helping you guys. I really do. Because that's what I want. That's the point of these videos. To make a difference and help the world be a better place. But anyway, again, let me know in the comments what you find that makes your life happier. And we'll talk about it when you write the comments. But have a beautiful day, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, share, and subscribe, and thank you for watching. And again, you guys are enough. You're appreciated. You're loved. Never forget it. Have a beautiful day. Bye.